Alberta, our next question.
Ms. Glass, a moment ago you spoke about critical issues, and this is a critical issue when we're talking about school dropout rates. The Texas Education Agency reports that 80.6% of 300,000 students in the class of 2009 graduated on time, while 8.6% continued in high school the following year, and 1.4% received GEDs. That means about 19 to 20% of the 2009 class either dropped out or didn't graduate from high school on time. Other groups, such as IDRA in San Antonio, say dropout rates are much higher, especially for minority students. The group said that 45% of Hispanic students left before graduating, and 35% of black students dropped out, compared with 17% for white students. No matter whose figures that you believe, the result is that too many students are dropping out. So what specifically would you do as governor to swiftly and dramatically stem the tide of dropouts and increase the pool of high school graduates?
Well, I do question the validity of some of those statistics, but on the issue of what you do about dropouts, I think you just need to examine the fundamental question of why do these people not wish to partake of a free public education. Maybe they know something about what's best for them and their lives that we don't. So I'm opposed to truancy laws above a certain age. If a 16-year-old wants to drop out and his parents say that, just maybe he's making the best decision. We need to talk about what a truancy law means. It means you're acting as though you've got a product that is so bad you can't give it away. And your solution to that is to put the would-be consumer and his parents in jail? I don't think so. Let them go his own way if he's of that mind, because he's not getting anything out of the experience. That's pretty obvious. And let him go. Not only is he not benefiting from this education, more than likely that student is a disruptive force that is keeping that teacher from teaching the way she wants to, and other students who are there and want to learn from the ability to do so. So let him go. If he's made a mistake, ignorance can be cured, and he can take his whole life and turn it around, because this is not just a one-time thing that you have to get educated by a certain timetable in a certain way. People learn in different ways, and sometimes they learn better out on their own in real life than they do in a structured environment.
Thank you. Ms. Shafto, she says, let them go. What do you say about stemming the tide of dropouts?
I am a retired teacher of many years. There is a lot wrong with our educational system, and it begins or is compounded by the testing that we do. We test children in kindergarten, and we decide right at that time who is capable and who is not. And my theory is that's as much an effect it causes the inability to learn as well as measuring it, or better than measuring it. What I'm concerned with is that we have these infants who are born learning machines. They learn, they learn, they learn, they learn. They learn enormous amounts, and then we get them in school, and the learning curve just drops. We're doing the wrong thing with them. We're being hard on them. And years when they should be jumping, running, laughing, playing, we're telling them to sit down, be quiet, no laughing, no talking. You passed the note. You don't want them to write? We're just being awful with them. And we need to review that. And it won't be a matter of overnight progress. It'll be a matter of training teachers to allow these children to learn as they can best learn without being so judgmental about them. Then you will solve the problem on your own. When you are, oops, time's up, sorry.
Mayor White, what would you do about the dropout rate?
We ought to treat it as an emergency. Look, I've talked to so many people who dropped out of school once, and I haven't ran into a single person who said, oh, that was a great decision that I made. And that tells you, we're asking people to make the most important decisions of their lifetime, perhaps, at a time where they're least likely to make that right decision. So I've been in the houses of people who've dropped out of school. We need to have more flexible schools. We need to make sure that work is compatible with attending school. That means hours on Saturdays and on weekends. We need to make sure that there's some facilities for the young mothers so that they could return to school and be able to get on with their education. We need to make sure that there's programs for early childhood education where people go into the class. When they enter the class, they have confidence in that first grade prepared. I would have signed that pre-K bill that had bipartisan support to expand opportunities for early childhood education, supported by the business community, vetoed by Rick Perry. What I wouldn't do is lie about the dropout figures, which our current governor has done. And then he cut a program that worked on July 13th. It provided extra money for summer school and after-school tutoring. It was helping kids who are at risk remain in school. And the very same day, he proposed his new dropout program, which is a new law on driver's license. The problem was his new program had been state law since 1989, and he had been responsible for enforcing it since 2001. He didn't know or didn't care what the law was.